and gentlemen, this is the Impact HeelCast section. We've all kind of taken a different route in what we watch as what we watch for professional wrestling. So we're doing the HeelCast a little differently. Instead of just going on each other's show and bashing it, we're here just to kind of talk about Impact Wrestling. And I know AEW Dude and Chef are going to be talking about NWA and AEW. Well, this is the Impact Wrestling section, and I am joined by a new guest. Hopefully he'll be joining me weekly to talk about Impact. Killer Kyle. Killer Kyle, introduce yourself, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Killer Kyle. I'm from Canada. The most boring part of Canada, probably, but yeah, I'm from Canada, and I've been a wrestling fan for a long fucking time.
That's awesome. And, yeah, you're kind of like with all of us, right? Like, we started at a real young age.
I started watching wrestling about 5 years old, probably.
Wow.
And I'm 32 now, so...
That's really cool. But, well, let's just jump right into it. So,
Sure thing.
I guess first thing first, let's start off with 2019 Impact. What can you say? I think they gave us some really good pay-per-views. We started off with Homecoming, then we went to Rebellion, then we had Slammiversary, and then Bound for Glory, obviously. Some of the matches that I can remember offhand are, obviously you had the Ultimate X at Homecoming. You had that great LAX versus Lucha Brothers match at Homecoming. That was really good. And then you had, I believe that main event was Brian Cage versus Johnny Impact, and that was the one where Johnny Impact retained.
You're right.
Yep, Johnny Impact retained.
Because in that match, I believe it was some of his outside friends that kind of helped him keep the title.
Yes, you are correct. It was his Survivor friends, because he went on the show Survivor.
Right.
Yep, and he got a little help. That match actually wasn't...
Would you say he took the heel turn then?
Yeah, I think that's exactly where he turned heel, right at that pay-per-view. He was... Well, you remember he faked the injury at some point.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of wrestling over this past year, so it's hard to remember everything. But yeah, he faked the injury, and yeah, then that's kind of when he turned heel.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was a good pay-per-view. I mean, I remember the Ultimate X match.
I enjoyed the pay-per-view. I just didn't like the end where he turned heel and the match kind of didn't have a clean finish. I prefer clean finishes to matches, but that's just, I understand you gotta tell a story and all that too, so. Yeah,
no doubt. I mean, that pay-per-view was pretty good. I don't think that was the best match. I think Moose fought, or no, Tommy Dreamer. Was it Tommy Dreamer and Eddie Edwards on that pay-per-view too?
Yes, I believe it was.
Yes,
you're right.
yes.
Because Tommy Dreamer was trying to teach Eddie Edwards respect.
Yes.
In the storyline.
Yes, because Eddie was going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Eddie was going crazy over the whole Sami
Before
Callahan.
that, I believe Sami Callahan had hit him with the baseball bat, and then after that, he kind of lost his mind.
Yeah, that was a really cool. I mean, I just didn't think Eddie Edwards could pull that character off, but he.
No, I didn't believe it either in the beginning.
He did such a good job, though.
Yeah, I like this new Eddie Edwards. I hope it sticks around for a long time to come. But characters and personas are changing all the time, so.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? I mean, he's pulled it off though. He had a really really great year just developing that character. I'm having a hard time remembering the knockouts match of that time. I mean, we don't have to go through the whole homecoming card.
Just whenever you remember, like I'll even could shoot something in there too if I remember something. So.
Yeah. If you remember it, you can bring it up. That's totally fine.
Comes to mind is the Sammy Callahan Tessa Blanchard at the Slammiversary.
Oh, that match was fantastic. Yeah. That match was fantastic.
I believe they had that on the main event.
Yeah, it was. They did put it on last. That match tore the house down, and it was really it was really good. Matter of fact, I have a theory on why Hard to Kill is in Dallas. I think because it's essentially the rematch of that. They had that in Dallas. They're going back to Dallas. I think.
Slammiversary was in Dallas, Texas, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, and it was obviously main evented by Callahan and Tessa. Yeah, so I think that's one reason they're going back, because they really like the crowd reaction to that match, and I think they want that again. And
well, anytime you can have a good crowd, even like Bound for Glory had a great crowd, so I was blown away with the amount of people that were there. So I was. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, yeah. Bound for Glory, they had that. That was their biggest venue that they've had in a while. I mean, I thought the homecoming venue in Nashville was, the old fairgrounds. I thought that was a good venue for Impact. I think they should go back there.
That's where they started back in 2002.
Yep. I really like that. And let's talk about Rebellion, because I think Rebellion had some good matches. You had Gail Kim versus Tessa Blanchard. That was a really good match.
All right, yeah. I am remembering that now. It's all coming back to me. So
yeah,
that was Gail Kim's final match, I believe, in Impact or all of wrestling.
Yes. I mean, the funny thing is, I actually went to a hockey game. It was a minor league hockey. The Milwaukee Admirals. They had wrestling night. It was on a Saturday, and they had 4 wrestlers. They had Jeff Jarrett, Al Snow, Jim Ross, and Gail Kim. They all had autograph signings. I actually got to talk to Gail before that, and I asked her, "Hey, are you going to wrestle? Are you going to wrestle Tessa Blanchard?" Because that's what I thought. And she's like, "Yeah, that's the plan. I'm just hoping my MRI comes back." So, yeah, that match was so good.
Gail Kim has always been my favorite ladies wrestler of all time.
Oh, she's definitely up there. I mean,
yeah,
she's one of a kind.
That was a hell of a match too. That was an awesome match back at Rebellion.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really fantastic match.
Yeah, Rebellion was a really good card. You also had Brian Cage win the title for the first time. He actually got injured on that match. We had Michael Elgin's debut.
I believe from Toronto, Canada.
Yes. The Rebel Complex, I believe it was called.
Yeah.
Yes.
Michael Elgin, one thing I will say about him is I first started watching him in Ring of Honor, and from the time I started watching him in Ring of Honor, I became a fan instantly. I think I saw him wrestle Eddie Edwards even back then, when they were both a part of that company, and to see them go to Impact and do the things they're doing now.
Yeah.
Michael Elgin is off the chain, man.
Oh, he's had a great career. I wasn't the biggest Michael Elgin fan. I mean, I didn't know enough from him. I've seen him in Ring of Honor. I saw him in a few matches. But man, he's definitely. I mean, I remember when he had hair. He's been phenomenal this year. He's really had a great year. I mean, I didn't see his stuff in Japan, but he's really had a great year. And he debuted at Rebellion. That was
right.
That was really cool.
What we're talking about, right?
Yep. Rebellion. I'm. Oh, LAX.
I was so far back, man.
I believe LAX.
Nothing that happened between now and then.
Yeah, it was. I mean, LAX. I think they wrestled the Lucha Brothers on that pay-per-view. I think it was like a ladder match, possibly.
I think you're right. Yeah, LAX against the Lucha Brothers, and every time those two teams get in the ring, man, you're gonna see 5-star classic wrestling.
Oh yeah, there's no
5-star classic wrestling.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Hardys and Andrew Christian from back in the day, but a better version.
Yes. I mean, they were so good. Those matches were amazing.
Glad they got to have them.
Yeah, they're really cool. Other than that, I mean, nothing. I think Taya Valkyrie fought Jordan Grace, I believe, at Rebellion, and she won.
What do you think about Jordan Grace?
she's a power wrestler. Looks the part. She's very young. She's got a long way to go, obviously, but
Yeah, she's a rookie still, but
mm-hmm.
I think eventually she will hold on to the belt. And I don't know about the rumors of Ty Valkyrie leaving Impact.
Yeah, we can talk about that in the news section for sure. That's another one we can bring up. Yeah, and then obviously Slammiversary. I thought Slammiversary was a phenomenal card. You had the main event. You had Johnny Impact versus Rich Swann. I mean, that was a really good X Division match.
Was that ever a good match? Wow.
Yeah, it was.
That match blew my mind. That so fluid the way they both were.
Yes. I think basically that whole card was really good, top to bottom.
Yeah, to me, next to Bound for Glory, anyways, were the two biggest pay-per-views that I can remember from 2019. Was the Slammiversary Bound for Glory.
Yeah, I mean, and then you had Michael Elgin versus Brian Cage. I thought that was a really good big man versus big man match.
Oh yeah, and I think Brian Cage busted open.
Yes.
In that match.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that part.
But man, they tore the house down. I mean, I got the network, I got the Impact Plus, and I go back and watch that match sometimes. I was so impressed with it.
Well, I don't have Impact Plus, and I'm sure we've already discussed how I watch wrestling, but
yeah, I'm sure you can find it.
I'm very much in the loop. I'm very much in the loop of all of wrestling.
That's awesome. So yeah, and then we go to Bound for Glory, where they had a huge crowd in Chicago, and we had so many good matches. We had that ladder X Division ladder match where Ace Ramiro, flies off the ladder. Jeez.
Oh my God, that guy is so huge, man! Holy crap!
I mean,
but he can move around in the ring, man, for a big dude.
Yeah, he really can. I mean, and you also had obviously RVD and Rhino coming back into the company, and I really enjoyed that tag team match with the North, Rhino and RVD versus Swan and Mac, and I loved the heel turn because I think Rob Van Dam, he had to freshen up his character a little bit, so I'm actually kind of digging it.
The heel Rob Van Dam is excellent.
Yes, I agree. He's done some really good work, and this new character he's got going on, I think, is really good.
I think when he left the WWE and he came back over to Impact again, because you know how wrestlers go back and forth. But I think when he came back this time around, he was able to do what he wanted to do. And in WWE, they're kind of like, no, we're just going to make you how you've always been, the cool, relaxed kind of Rob Van Dam, the guy that doesn't talk much on the mic. But this Van Dam with Impact, they're letting him do what he wants to do, right? So. Yeah,
and his last WWE run, he didn't really even have any storylines. He was just kind of put out for matches, and that was it. It was just, there was no point, really.
I just wanted to touch on that real quick.
Yeah, no, that's good because, same with Rhino. He came back to WWE. He had that tag team title tournament victory with Heath Slater, and then that was essentially it.
Yeah, Rhino was I'm pretty sure he was one of those guys that came on the microphone at Impact, and he's like, I want to be in the ring. I want to be wrestling. I can still wrestle.
Yeah, so, don't stick me in catering. That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he was about. And you know what? I've always been a Rhino fan. I'll never stop being a Rhino fan. So anywhere he can wrestle, I'm going to watch that wrestling promotion because Rhino's in it, right? So, and Rhino being with Impact, he's a legend for them to help with the younger talent, so
he really is, and he's given some of the best promos he's given in a long time, and I love that Don Callis obviously worked with him in ECW, and I think Don Callis was a driving force to bring the Rhino style promo back, like he used to do in ECW. He would say, swear and just be real, be the real Rhino that we remember.
Is there allowed to swear on television, man? When they swear, it's themselves, man. Okay, they're saying a bad word or whatever, but how many 5-year-olds watch wrestling anymore? So.
Yeah, I think Impact's going for a certain audience. I don't think they're going for the little kid audience. They're going for a combination of the Attitude Era / ECW era / TNA era. That's kind of what they're going for.
And I
And
love the original ECW, so that's why I lean now toward Impact. Because if you notice, they have like the steel barricades around the ring.
yes.
WWE only have those black barricades, and it just looks so fake to me, man.
Yeah, the padded ones. I'm not a fan of the padded ones. I enjoyed the WCW ones where they used to have the they still use the steel barricades, but then they would put like the Nitro banner over it. I enjoyed those.
Yeah, that's fine if you're gonna put your banner over it, but don't pad it up.
Yeah. WWE just pads them all up. I'm not a huge fan of that.
I realized I think Darren Drozdov got a serious injury from a dive, right? So I think that's why they started doing that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think I believe you're right. I mean, we all know about. He's had a really bad case of injuries with the broken neck, obviously, but and that paralyzed him.
Not to sidetrack, you go on with what you were talking about.
No, I just think Bound for Glory was really fun pay-per-view. Enjoyed the RVD heel turn. I enjoyed Ace Austin winning the X Division title out of nowhere. That was pretty cool. Reno Scum came back to Impact this year. That's pretty cool. The Knockouts division. I mean, what can you say about the Knockouts division? They got a really good Knockouts division. I mean,
I think they have the best women's division in wrestling.
You know what? I think you can bring a very good case, and I think WWE's got some really good women wrestlers, but I don't know, top to bottom.
Yeah, but Impact's knockouts are tough. Like, they got ODB.
Yes.
They got people that are tough. They're not pushovers, Like, Jordan Grace is pretty tough, and that's what I think about. Like, if I'm comparing WWE to Impact, Impact is over WWE with the women's division.
Well, yeah, you brought back Madison Rayne. You signed Tenille Dashwood. You still got Rosemary and Sue Young. You bring back Havoc, who I really enjoyed Havoc's work from her first TNA run. I'm really happy they brought her back. I'm a big
Jessica Havoc fan, and I love that tombstone finish.
Yes, that was really cool. Oh, how could we forget too at Slammiversary, the Knockouts Monsters Ball. That was really good.
Because I think the card was so big that sometimes you're going to forget something every now and then, but that four-way Monsters Ball, off the chart, man.
It really was. It was Slammiversary was such a good pay-per-view, but I think the atmosphere of Bound for Glory was so cool with that big crowd. So I think they were both just top-notch pay-per-views.
What do you think about Ken Shamrock's return?
You know what? That was out of nowhere, wasn't it? I mean, I loved it. I said Impact should have brought him back years ago. He was their first ever heavyweight champion. I mean, if you're talking about from when the company started, he won the first heavyweight title. They had to do something with him. And the guy's still in good shape.
Yeah, I think that Ken Shamrock is kind of replacing Kurt Angle, and they're looking for that Kurt Angle feel, like how they had back in 2006, 2007, when he first came into Impact. And that's just like, I think they're looking for that Kurt Angle feel, and they found it with Ken Shamrock because he does the ankle lock, and Kurt Angle does that, so that's the caliber like that they're looking for. They're looking for the main event. So
yeah,
that match with Mad Matt Fulton, I think that's going to be interesting on Sunday.
Man, I honestly couldn't believe Ken Shamrock took that bump. That bump over that was a very, for a guy of Ken Shamrock's been around and still taking a bump like that. That's pretty cool. But the match that really kills me when you brought up Kurt Angle is that we never had a Ken Shamrock versus Kurt Angle match.
Oh man, me and my friend talked about that match to this day. It should have happened.
Oh.
It should have happened in the WWF at least, right? But
yeah. I mean, the only way you can do it is in video games,
Yeah.
I mean,
but that match is a dream match, and that'll never happen.
Yeah, it's one of those matches that should have happened because obviously the similarities with the wrestler versus the Ultimate Fighter. They both use this ankle lock. I mean, they're both multi-sport. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's too bad that didn't happen.
So
but
you're still trying to talk about Bound for Glory, and I thought the Sami Callihan Brian Cage match. I know we're jumping all the matches, but we'll just talk about whatever, I guess. But to me, that match stands out the most, really.
That match was really good. I think the surprise was that Brian Cage won because I think a lot of people were expecting Sami Callihan to win that, but obviously,
I was shocked Brian Cage won because the storyline was he was too injured to defend his title, and he could never be on pay-per-view or on TV to defend his belt. And Sami Callihan was getting kind of pissed off all the time. Well, I want my title shot and this and that. Well, we'll give it to you a Bound for Glory. Then he still loses.
Yeah, that's that's crazy. And then he wins on the Access debut, which wow, yeah, that was
the turn of events. You just never know. That's why you got to watch it every week. You just never know.
Yep, I agree.
What's gonna happen?
I agree. Yeah, no, I think Bound for Glory though was a big success. I hope they come back to Chicago. It's kind of in my neighborhood. I'm about an hour.
You must be close to Chicago. I'm not that familiar with Wisconsin. I know that's the area you're from. So.
Yeah, I'm basically in Milwaukee, so we're about like an hour and 15 minutes away. Maybe not even, depending on how fast you want to go.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if they come back, I'm definitely gonna go.
If that stuff came here, I'd be trying to go all the time.
Yes. I mean, it seems like for Canada they use Toronto and Windsor all the time, but Mississauga too.
I don't think if you look on the map, that's anywhere in my range.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right. So yeah, that was 2019. Obviously, getting the TV deal was huge with Access TV, where they were on Pursuit, which is a way lesser known network. But yeah, going to Access TV, Anthem actually buying the station that, had New Japan on and had WOW, so it was kind of already known for wrestling. I think it was a no-brainer and a big win for Impact.
I know you want to go on about Impact. We will do that. But I think MLW just signed a deal with Access.
That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing MLW signed a deal with Access, and
I'm big into that. That's awesome.
I mean, Anthem owns Access, so that would lead me to believe that MLW and Impact are going to be having a working relationship.
Will MLW be Impact's NXT is what I'm thinking.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I was thinking that the other night.
That would be pretty cool. And, yeah, I mean, well, we might as well go into the news then. So, first story, that's the rumor that MLW is possibly coming to Access. There's I would think a partnership would obviously be formed there if they do come to Access.
Yeah, very smart.
I think you would have a lot of cross promotion type stuff. So that I'm definitely on board for that.
Sure.
I mean, MLW's got some really good wrestlers. Killer Kyle, why don't you go through the roster, or at least some of the guys that you like? And yeah, give me some of the MLW guys that you like.
The first one I'm going to talk about I'm being biased, by the way, but Teddy Hart first comes to mind. I think he's a phenomenal wrestler. That guy, I don't know if you've seen him wrestle lately, but that guy can do things in the ring, and he does it with such ease. The way he performs is, I never thought I was going to like him at first, but because of his attitude, when he gets in that ring, man, holy shit, he can go. I like Teddy Hart. I like all the Hart Foundation members, Brian Pillman and Davey Boy Smith. I'm a big Low Key fan. He's there. Tom Lawler, Filthy Tom Lawler. I don't know if you heard of him.
Yeah, he's another MMA guy turned wrestler. I heard he's doing good things, and I also heard they have Jacob Fatu, who's related to Umaga.
Right, he's their world champion, and he's a part of a unit called Contra Unit. They're like a faction, and then you got two other partners. I'm not familiar with the names yet, but as I'm watching every week, I'll learn more about it. But I think MLW is fantastic. I love the fast pace of it. I think it's I don't know, the styles are different. They call it the show fusion. So I mean, and it's only an hour. It's not like you're sitting through 3 hours of bullshit every week. So, and then now they're probably teaming up with Impact, like you said. So I mean, it's only good from here, man.
Yeah, if they come to Access, there would definitely be a partnership because Access is not going to sign anybody that doesn't want to do business with them. That's why New Japan is leaving, because they, for whatever reason, New Japan does not want to work with Impact because of the past issues they had with them back in the day. But New Japan and Ring of Honor, I think they still have that partnership going. I'm not completely sure on that, but
I think you're right. I think they do. I just watched the first part of Wrestle Kingdom like a couple days ago.
yes.
And I thought that was a long fucking show, but it was a good one. 5 hours it went, so I took breaks in between it, watched it all at once. But they do have some Ring of Honor wrestlers that are more on New Japan Pro Wrestling, so
Well,
I think they do have the partnership.
well, right now isn't PCO the champ, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I figured.
Champion.
Yep, man, that's crazy, but he's come a long way. Man, but yeah, no, that's something to look out for, because I've been hearing that too. So yeah, MLW possibly coming to Access, which would probably mean a partnership between the two companies, and I think that would be a very, very smart move. Definitely for MLW and Impact, because I think it would give them more roster options. Because obviously Impact still has the partnership with AAA in Mexico, so.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think MLW with Impact is going to be a force to be reckoned with. So.
Yeah, I totally agree. MLW's on the come up, so that's a no-brainer to me.
Anything else you got there?
Yeah, let's talk about Matt Hardy, because he's pretty much sitting in limbo right now. His contract comes up at
Wonderful and delightful.
delete.
Remember when I never shut up about that?
Yes. Yeah, his contract's coming up in March. He's going to be a free agent pretty quickly here. I don't think he's re-signing with WWE. I think that's where the contract talks kind of sputtered. He didn't like their creative direction for him going forward, so he wants to give it a go. On Twitter, I've seen Matt Hardy promote Impact a lot. He's said a lot of good things about it.
Very nice.
He's been posting things that have to do with his Impact past when he won the world title. But we must keep in mind that he's got options. He's got friends in AEW. He's got a lot, the Young Bucks, Jericho. He's also NWA. NWA is run by Billy Corgan and Dave Lagana, who used to run TNA back in 2016. So there's going to be a bidding war. I don't know if it's necessarily a bidding war, but I think it's going to be whatever company that gives him that platform.
I think it's where he wants to go, right? Like
it is.
You want to go somewhere, and they're offering you some money to have a contract and be in their promotion. Go there, and if you're happy there, stay there. Like, and he's talking about Impact, so I'm aboard with that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think. Okay, so NWA, obviously he's worked with Corgan and Lagana, but we don't know what they're going to be being able to offer him. All NWA is right now is a YouTube show, right?
Right.
I mean, that's all really it is. So it's really going to come down to, I think.
They did have a pay-per-view called Into the Fire.
They did.
Yeah.
I think it's going to come down to AEW and Impact, but I think Impact might have the slight edge because of the history he has with the broken universe. And I think Impact's really recruiting him. I've seen D'Amore and Don Callis.
I wanted to mention was, sorry to cut you off, but you get me going, but I wanted to mention was Scott D'Amore and Don Callis, they're the management there, right?
Yes, vice presidents.
So when did he go back there? They're under a brand new management, a brand new umbrella, basically. Go there, man. I hope he goes, man.
Well, I think Matt Hardy's beef was with Jeff Jarrett. I think I think it was all about Jeff Jarrett. So Matt Hardy has not really worked with D'Amore and Don Callis. So it's just gonna come down to whoever gives him the most creative freedom and whoever gives him a direction. And I guarantee you, Impact will definitely give him that creative freedom, and they will definitely put him, and they will use him. They will definitely use him. So I think I think Impact has a really good chance to sign him.
Would love to see it. I would absolutely love to see it.
Yeah, it would be cool.
I believe Matt Hardy has got at least another year to go, maybe 2 years to go.
Right.
It's up to his body and how much his body can handle, right?
Right. And if he's doing more of the broken stuff, he may not have to wrestle as much.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's.
He can just be there to put that gimmick over.
Exactly.
You know, I'm pretty sure that's what it's about. He'll just be there to put the gimmick over. He'll have his classic matches, but he's going to be kind of promoted like Brock Lesnar would be in WWE.
Yeah, I mean, he could be like an attraction wrestler, kind of just, wrestle, him and Sami Callihan, I mean, that could be a really good feud. He could have great feuds with a lot of different guys in Impact.
Hell yeah, man.
So, let's also talk about Luke Harper. Luke Harper is going to be a free agent, and I believe his 90-day no-compete clause is over in April. I mean, he's going to be wanted quite a bit. I think he's AEW bound. I think that one he's going to go AEW.
I'm pretty sure you knew I was about to say that.
Yeah.
So.
He's really good friends with Marty Scurll.
Marty Scurll, he's signed with NWA, right?
He debuted for NWA, but he did not sign a contract.
He's just like kind of thinking about it then.
Yeah, he's kind of testing the waters.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. So, yeah, he's another guy to look out for.
Luke Harper, I'm going to say AEW.
I'm going to say AEW too. He does have some history with Sami Callihan. He does have, I believe Sami Callihan was trying to recruit him.
Would he be wrestling under the name Brody Lee?
Yes, he'll be going back to Brody Lee.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
Correct. So, he's another guy. The Ascension, do you think anybody's really going to pay big money for the Ascension?
Unless they remarket themselves.
Uh-huh.
Like, if they're not called the Ascension anymore, if they don't look like the Road Warriors, then yeah.
Well, wasn't that the Kiss of Death with them? Their debut? Yeah. Their debut. They were pretty much done. Their debut when they made that comment about the Road Warriors. And the thing is, I keep hearing how over they were in NXT. And then when they got called up to the main roster, it was just like they were dead on arrival.
Yeah, they were very much over in NXT.
Yes.
But when they came up to Monday Night Raw, Vince McMahon wanted to make them look like the Road Warriors, and I thought, well, this has already been done, and now they're mimicking or mocking like one of the greatest wrestling tag teams of all time, and I think that's what turned the fans off from them.
Well, yeah, and the New Age Outlaws kind of buried them.
Yeah.
On their debut, basically. So it was not good, and then they were.
I don't care about the Ascension. They kind of watered themselves down in WWE. They'd have to make a miraculous comeback for me to get back invested into them again.
Yeah, they would have to go through the Indies a lot and start building their name back up. And yeah, I agree.
I don't care about the Ascension.
Yeah, that's.
WWE umbrella, but.
So another free agent is Sin Cara. I think he's just going to be kind of doing mostly stuff in Mexico.
So was Sin Cara, he was like a bunch of different wrestlers at one time, was he not?
So there's been two Sin Caras. There was the original Sin Cara who has not been in WWE for a while. I have I think he's wrestling in CMLL. I could be wrong. I don't really pay attention too much to the Mexico scene. I don't
either.
Yeah, the only times I really see is when Impact goes to Mexico. They bring a lot of the Mexican wrestlers there.
Or if WWE goes down there once in a while, I'll catch an episode of Raw, like the odd time.
So this Sin Cara was actually Hunico at one point. He was known as Hunico. He donned the Sin Cara mask, and he's basically been Sin Cara since. So. I think that's a good career move for him because he really wasn't doing much.
Yeah, build your name back up in MLW or whatever, not MLW, CMLL, sorry. And, build your name back up down there and travel around the world, make yourself, and people know who he is. So, I mean, it doesn't matter where he goes, people know who he is because of WWE, right?
Right, exactly. And then the other rumor is the Revival are going to be leaving around March or April. So they're as good as gone from what I'm reading. Where do you see the Revival going?
That one. I actually like that one because when the Revival came up from NXT, they were booked on Raw, I think, right?
Yes.
So when they were on Raw, they weren't doing anything. They were just jobbing and losing and shaving each other's backs. And what the heck, man? Like, they're getting crappy storylines, so leave WWE, man. Like, go somewhere else, man. Like,
yeah, where you're going to be used properly. I think Revival, I think that's also going to be another AEW. I think they go to AEW. I think they want to have a match with the Young Bucks.
I wonder what they'd be called there, though, because they couldn't use the copyright of the Revival.
Yeah, I don't.
That'll be interesting.
Right, I agree. It's going to be very interesting. So, April, you know what we forgot to mention in 2019?
What did we forget?
We forgot United We Stand, which was another pay-per-view.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. RVD and Sabu versus the Lucha Brothers.
That was awesome. Like, I know I say awesome a lot and whatever, but this is my first time kind of doing a podcast, so bear with me. I'm going to be using some words repetitively. But if it's awesome, it's awesome. And that pay-per-view, United We Stand, unbelievable. I think they had an Ultimate X match somewhere on the card, too.
Yes, they did. They did have another Ultimate X. They had 2 Ultimate X matches that year.
That's kind of what drew me to the pay-per-view. I love those kind of matches, man. So I was, like, drawn toward that. And I think Rob Van Dam, I think that might have been his first match back.
Who was the guy they had? Flamita? And Flamita fought...
I've heard the name Flamita before.
I think he fought Michael Elgin? I think that was another really good match. I mean, Impact, you watch the Twitch specials and the Impact Plus specials too, right?
I try and catch what I can, yeah. I try and catch what I can.
Those are pretty good. I mean, there's been some really good matches on those things. I mean, I'm thinking of TJ...
They have shows called, like, Showdown in the Sun and Embrace for Impact and stuff like that, I think.
Yeah, Brace for Impact, Victory Road, they had Starstruck. There's all sorts of them. Batch at the Brewery, there was a ton of them.
They're having a second batch at the brewery this year.
They are.
I think.
Yep, you're right. You are correct. I remember from Victory Road, it was Michael Elgin versus TJP. That was a really good match.
Oh, yeah. I believe I did see that pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I still call them pay-per-views.
Well, they kind of are. The Impact Plus events, they're kind of marketing more as like a lower tier pay-per-view. But they're still...
They only charge like $10 or something for...
They used to be, but now you get them with your subscription now to Impact Plus.
All right, fair enough. Anything else?
So yeah, let's... as far as news, I want to talk about 2 shows that have been rumored that are starting to kind of take shape. So we have been getting hints about Lockdown kind of coming back, or I think it's Lockdown. There's an event that's coming back. They say it's the most dangerous event of the year. It's going to be in April. It's got to be Lockdown, right?
You would have to think. I mean, that was their premier event in April back when they were called TNA. So
yes, exactly, and it was every April. Yeah, I really do think Lockdown's going to be coming back, and I'm really excited. If they do Lethal Lockdown, I can't wait, because we've...
In your mind as a fan, you're already thinking, I wonder what teams are going to be formed in alliances and storylines. You're already thinking ahead, like months ahead.
Can you remember the last Lockdown we had?
Oh my gosh.
I know the last pay-per-view Lockdown we had, it was like the American Wolves were in it, MVP. I mean, I remember that pay-per-view.
So if you're saying MVP, I'm going to say 2015.
So actually the last pay-per-view.
That year rings a bell with MVP.
So the last pay-per-view year was 2014. But then in 2015, they did an Impact version of Lockdown. That,
Yeah, okay.
and then
Wasn't that when Jeff Hardy jumped off the top and he hit his spine on the steel steps?
oh gosh, yes, you are correct.
His backup?
Yes.
Yeah.
They also had another Lethal Lockdown match when that GFW invasion with Jeff Jarrett and, when he brought the GFW guys over. They did do a Lethal Lockdown
That was
match.
a cup of coffee, eh?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
That didn't last very long.
No, not at all.
And you know what? In a way, it was a blessing in disguise because that whole global force was cropped to start. So
Yeah, that was, and they were on Okay, so in the U.S. they were on Destination America, and they were kind of going through the motions. I think 2015 was one of my, or wait, was it 2014 now? I
think you're right. I think it's either 2015 or 2016 where GFW came in.
Yeah, so it was 2015. They were on Destination America, and that's like one of my least favorite years of TNA. They had that world title series, and it was like they were going through the motions. You didn't know if they were going to survive. That was just a really bad year. Really bad year. But 2016, thankfully, revived it. So
yeah, I'm with you on that because, like with the whole Global Force Wrestling, it killed TNA as a whole. And then the thing that pissed me off the most was when Bruce Pritchard came out and he's like, TNA is dead. That kind of pissed me off.
yeah, that was just.
That pissed me off.
Yeah, that was.
As a wrestling fan, I wouldn't say fuming at the mouth, but I was not happy about it.
That was a bad time. It really was.
But we picked up big, man. We picked up really big, and we're called Impact Wrestling now, and Don Callis, Scott Demore, among other people. I'm sure I don't even know who the hell's back there, And Jimmy Jacobs might be helping out.
Yeah, Jimmy Jacobs. I mean, they actually got another former WWE writer. He was in Ring of Honor, Artie Evans. Artie Evans, I believe, is working with Impact. Yeah.
I'm good.
He was actually, he's the one who wrote that Wrestler Court segment. So
That Wrestler Court segment was awesome.
It was.
That was hilarious.
it
man.
was.
I was laughing my ass off with that shit. My God.
By far one of the segments of the year for Impact.
The best, one of the best.
Yeah,
What
it
about
was.
that wedding, man? What the hell?
Yes, that too. That too. Brian Cage and Melissa Santos.
She got cracked over the head with a wine bottle.
That was crazy.
That was not cool. That was not cool, Mr.
No.
Joe, man.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh man. So we got Lockdown possibly coming back this year, which is going to be awesome. And then WrestleMania week,
I'm getting excited thinking about it, man.
Oh man, and WrestleMania week. The last 2 years we've had some really good events. We've had the first year we had the crossover event, Impact Wrestling versus Lucha Underground, which was really good.
And I think it was Matt Striker and Josh Matthews commentary.
Yes, it was. That was a really good event. And then last year we had United We Stand. So this year, the rumor is they are going to do a TNA flashback.
I heard about that.
Yes. That's the rumor, and that's also going to be in April. So you're going to have the TNA flashback and Lockdown. I think April is looking really, really, really good right now.
I'm with you, man, all the way. Like, I'm just a wrestling fan in general, so when wrestling's on TV, I watch what I think is the best, and then sometimes when it comes to WWE, not so much. I think I've talked to you about this before on conversations. And then Impact, they never disappoint. And I'm not saying this because I'm a fanboy or whatever, but they never disappoint me,
Right.
They always have one thing on the show that I can say, okay, I enjoyed that,
Exactly. I mean, you're not going to like everything, obviously, and I don't like everything, but...
I don't like Joey Ryan, but...
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
He's going to get released somehow.
Oh, man. But,
he's the only negative about Impact.
Yeah, I don't... You know what I think about the signing?
Agree with me on that.
You know what I think about that signing? That was the one signing where WWE wanted him, AEW wanted him. He didn't want to go to either place because he didn't want to stop doing the indies. So obviously, Impact offers him a contract and says, "Hey, we'll let you do your indie stuff." You know what I mean? So I think Impact.
I want to get that out there into the internet and all that other, I'm not a fan of that fucking guy.
That move. Oh, jeez.
Whenever he wrestles, I'm cheering, even if it's a jobber, I'm cheering for the jobber.
Yes, exactly. I agree. I cannot stand that move. I don't even want to pronounce the move.
Let's move on.
Yes, let's move on. Agreed.
He's done.
Agreed. You know who I'm kind of liking though, and I never thought I would, but I love the inside puns of his gimmick is Johnny Swinger.
Johnny Swinger is funny.
Yes, and his whole gimmick. His whole gimmick is based on an 80s wrestler, but it's kind of dark. Like, he talks about the rats, he talks about the marks, he talks about the drugs. I mean, like we just saw, the water bottle with the somas. Like, oh, man.
That was last night's episode,
Yeah, it was, wow.
Johnny Swinger, I didn't think I was going to like him at first.
Same
because
here.
Of the 80s gimmick.
Yes.
But as every week moved along, it's like I'm going to shit in people's bags and
Yes.
other wrestlers are like, we don't do that anymore.
Right, exactly. I think that's what makes the gimmick so great. It's just a pun. It's just a whole pun. All right, so yeah, that's kind of the news and some of the stuff that's coming up. I think it's going to be a really fun year. I can't wait to watch more. Eddie Edwards. So we had on Impact, we had Eddie Edwards and Michael Elgin kind of already battling at the start of Impact. So now this is a pay-per-view match, and we'll get to the predictions after Impact. But did you like the fact that they were hooking up already 1 week before the pay-per-view?
Yes, I did, because it sells their match. It shows the fans in the crowd, like, what kind of match is going to be in the pay-per-view, and that match should go on last.
Yeah, it was really good. It was probably the best match of the night. I think I'm okay with it too, only because at Hard to Kill we have a stipulation. It's for Eddie Edwards, call your shot. So
I think Michael, I know I'm spoiling already, but I think it's Michael Elgin who wins that match. But
you don't have to spoil. It's aired already. Yeah, it's aired already. You're good. Michael Elgin beat Eddie Edwards on Impact. It was a really good match. Michael Elgin, what can you say? Second match of the night, we had a 6-man tag. We had Mahabali Shera, Rohit Raju, Raj Singh versus Falaba, TJP, and Daga. What'd you think of this match?
I thought it was a good second match. I'm really getting behind Falaba. I think he's losing weight, as they're saying on the air. So I think that's pretty cool that he does that dive through the ropes.
Yes.
And the way TJP holds it open kind of as a joke, right? Like, you're fat, but we're...
Yeah, I'm actually digging their tag team. I'm actually kind of digging it.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great match. I thought it was awesome.
Daga is really freaking talented, though. Like, I think they got to do a little bit more with Daga. Like, they should give him... I don't want to say give him a title, but
Give
like...
him a singles run?
Yeah, give him some sort of push with a storyline. I think I think him not being on the pay-per-view is kind of a shame because he's such a good wrestler.
They should at least have him battle TJP or do something,
Yeah, I mean, they could have almost saved this match for a pay-per-view. I think.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to fill your 2 hours.
You do.
That's probably what they were looking at is like, okay, we got to fill our 2 hours this week, so...
What do you think of Mahabali Shera coming back?
I like it. I thought, why the hell did he leave? He was doing so well before.
Yeah, he was improving. He definitely was improving.
I think he had a rivalry, or he had a partner. That one guy with the one leg, what was his name?
Sergeant Melendez?
Yeah,
Yes.
Melendez.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he had either a match with him or a tag partner with him. I can't remember which one it was. But that's as far back as I remember him. So...
Yeah, and I think he's improved a lot since his first run.
Oh yeah, and I hope he stays.
Yeah, me too. I think it was a good signing, and it definitely makes the Desi Hit Squad a lot more credible.
Stronger.
Yeah. Agreed.
Because he is kind of a small guy.
He is.
Anyhow.
Yeah. So, what did you think of? What did you think of the? Well, we talked about the Johnny Swinger thing already. That was pretty funny. So obviously, the whole Tommy Dreamer catches him putting the somas and then makes him drink it. That was good.
That was the best part of it.
Oh gosh.
Comedy-wise.
Yeah, comedy-wise, that was the segment.
Awesome.
Oh.
I know I'm harping again, but Impact knows what the hell they're doing on each and every show. They throw their comedy stuff in, they throw their matches in, and they book a solid show, man. Like, every week they're booking something good. And, like, stuff like that. And I wouldn't have thought of that. That cracks me up, man. Like, putting that whatever in his drink, and then he passed out, and then he's like, well, I got a match, Johnny Ryan's like, I got a match with him next week. And Tommy Dreamer's like, well, if he's going to be awake by then.
Yeah. That was good stuff. Okay, so we got next match. We had Havoc versus Rosemary. I thought it was a really solid match. Havoc gets the win kind of by a distraction, but what do you think of the Su Yung Susie storyline?
Oh my gosh. I'm glad somebody finally asked me about that. I think it's odd. I think it's kind of bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. I think it's two dimensions of her character.
Yes.
I hope she goes back to the old Su Yung.
Oh, I think she will. Can we compare? I don't think we can really compare this to Joseph Park in Abyss.
Well, she's female. Other than that.
Yeah, but I think this character that she's doing though is really cool. It's an odd storyline, but it gives her something different.
And it makes you want to watch the show next week.
That's right.
You're thinking, well, what is Su Yung going to do? Even though she's Susie now.
That's right, and it grabs you. It grabs your attention, and it's like, okay, what kind of twist and turn are they going to do this week with it? So that's why I'm liking it.
This is my theory on it. I think at the pay-per-views they'll allow Su Yung to come out, and I think that on the shows they'll allow Susie to come out and maybe even wrestle.
Well, I think what's happening is, here's what I think is going to happen. I've been calling for this on past HeelCasts. I think we are going to have some sort of Sisters of Destruction type tag team with Rosemary and Su Yung. And I've been calling for this, like, they need to do this. I think Havoc's going to get a partner. And Havoc's been wrestling with another female wrestler called Nevaeh on the Indies. And I believe they're called like the Death Machines or something like that. I don't know. But I think Impact's going to bring in possibly Nevaeh, and then maybe they'll have a tag team feud with Rosemary and Su Yung versus Havoc and Nevaeh.
I want to touch on this one, too. I've always been a Rosemary fan.
Rosemary's awesome. She really is.
Really, really cool, and I hope she doesn't go to WWE. I hope she sticks with Impact.
Yeah, she just re-signed with them not long ago. I want to say, like, beginning of 2019. But yeah, she just re-signed with Impact not long ago. So
good to know.
Yeah, she should be there at least another, I would say, for 2020, all of 2020.
One of the reasons why I watch every week.
Yeah, she's very entertaining. But I'm really excited if they do a Rosemary Su Yung tag team. I also think Impact should.
I'd be shocked if they did that because of what Su Yung did to Rosemary off the stage. So
I think Impact should bring back the knockout tag team titles too. I think that'd be something that.
They have enough women's wrestlers to have tag team titles, you think? Or?
Well, I think you don't always have to use. A lot of those Twitch shows, they bring in like indie talent. You could always have, your tag team champs defend against them, and then. But yeah, there's enough. If you really think about it, you got like Kiera Hogan and Madison Rayne. They're not really right. They're exactly like they got knockouts like that where you're not seeing every week. You just brought in ODB. You got Alicia Edwards. You know, you got knockouts, and they're.
So is Alicia Edwards still a part of the roster? Because I haven't seen her on TV in quite some time.
Yeah, she's still there as far as I know. I haven't seen anything differently. I mean, heck, you signed Katie Forbes. I mean, you could do something with her, too.
I think she even got into the ring once. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she wrestled at United We Stand.
Yeah.
So she wrestled.
All I remember about her is she shakes her ass.
Right.
All I remember her.
That's her main. That's her main thing. So.
She shakes her ass. I don't think she knows how to do anything.
Yeah, our fourth match, we had another 6-man tag. It was Jordan Grace, ODB, and Tennille Dashwood versus Ty Valkyrie, Kiera Hogan, and Madison Rain. What did you think of this match?
Tennille Dashwood, it's all about me. I love the gimmick. I think it's cool. She was Emma, I think, in WWE.
Yes.
But then she went over to Ring of Honor, and now she's a part of Impact. Additional to the Impact Women's roster. I like this 6-man tag. I thought it was really cool. Yeah, I mean, I got nothing bad to say about this match. Nothing bad at all.
What? Now, did you see a lot of Tennille Dashwood's run in Ring of Honor? Can you tell me, like, what?
I didn't see a lot of it. I just remember flashes of what I watched so much wrestling, right? So.
That's right. It's hard to remember everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I remember, I think she had a match with Angelina Love. I think that might be all I remember. She's a part of Ring of Honor now.
Yeah, she was actually their champion for a while.
Yeah, hopefully she gets an Impact deal again somewhere down the road.
I was a big fan of Angelina Love. I like the beautiful people. You know, but yeah. Anyways, let's see. We
I tend to do the sidetracking thing.
So then we had another funny thing was like Moose talking to RVD, and he's like, "Hey, are we cool? I know we had our Slammiversary match." And then Rob Van Dam's like, "Oh, it's cool, man. I don't remember."
He's busy making out with his girlfriend.
Right, exactly. He's just too busy. I think.
He's like, dude, I'm busy right now. My match is on now.
Right. I thought that was pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
But
Awesome.
then we also had for our main event, we had a tag team, Moose and RVD versus Rhino and Brian Cage. What'd you think?
Awesome match. I like the idea of Moose and his opponent Rhino being on the other side of the ring, Rob Van Dam and Brian Cage's opponent. You know, it's built to the pay-per-view, so it was good shit, man.
Yeah, I thought that was a perfect match to go into the pay-per-view. I also thought the video package they did with Sami Callihan and Tessa Blanchard was really well done.
Oh,
really
yeah,
well.
I was memorized through the whole thing. I think I was getting messages on Facebook. I'm like, no, I'm watching this right now. That was really, really good video package.
Yeah, it was.
I'm sold on Hard to Kill already.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good pay-per-view. I don't think it's like necessarily the most like at first. Like I think some of the feuds were kind of just strung along. Yeah, they were just kind of strung along. Not a lot of backstory, but I think they're going to deliver. I think when you have
Brian Cage and Rob Van Dam, that match, I'm sold. Okay, I'm sold.
Right. I mean, even like Fulton and Ken Shamrock, they didn't have a ton of interaction, but you know what? They're still going to put out a good. They're still going to get the job done. Right?
Well, I don't think they had enough time between now and then to get it all going, but I think it'll be a good match.
Yeah, they really didn't because if you think about it, they had Bound for Glory.
Going up against Matt Fulton. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's all you
need is that. Just
right.
The title, put it on paper and we'll watch it.
Exactly. And they didn't have a lot of time to work with what they had, but I think going out of it, it's gonna be a good show. So, let's go through the card.
All right.
Yeah, let's start off with the X Division. So, we got Ace Austin, Trey Miguel. Ace Austin's gimmick is he goes after basically someone's girl or someone close to,
Well, you know why I'm laughing, so.
Yeah. So Ace Austin's going after Trey Miguel's mom. That's how this whole feud started. what is your thoughts on the match, and who do you think is going to win?
Ace Austin will win the match, but I think Trey Miguel will give him a good match.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really good.
They'll make it look like Trey's going to win.
Do you see any type of storyline kind of coming out? Do you think Trey's mom is going to get involved somehow?
I think she'll be a distraction. She'll be in the crowd, and if she's in the crowd, she will basically, be a distraction for the two of them, because one's the parent and the other one wants to have sex with him. So,
That's right.
It'll be an intriguing match, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to go Ace Austin. He just won it at Bound for Glory. I think he's going to retain it here. I don't see Trey Miguel winning.
No.
But it'll be a very good match, though.
Ace Austin.
Yep, I'm going Ace Austin as well. Let's go knockouts match. We got a triple threat for the knockouts title. We got Taya Valkyrie. He's had the title for over a year now. It's going to be Jordynne Grace versus ODB. I mean, how can we forget? I mean, ODB came back in 2019. This is going to be a triple threat, knockouts title. Who do you think's winning this?
You want my predictions for that one?
Yeah, give your predictions.
ODB.
And that's funny you say that, because I'm saying ODB is going to win too.
Because there's a third person in the match, and they're trying to build Taya as a strong competitor. So ODB pins Jordynne Grace to become Knockouts champion.
That's how I'm looking at it. I think, everyone's not paying attention to ODB because the main feud's Jordynne Grace and Taya, where I think ODB comes in there and gets the upset victory, and once again becomes, I think she'd be a 4-time or 5-time Knockouts champion.
Somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a real short run, but I think it's going to be kind of like a thank you run for ODB.
Yeah, I think ODB has to win, and I think Taya Valkyrie gets the rematch at the next big show or pay-per-view, and we'll see from there what happens. But anyway, on to the next match. Yeah,
I could see that. Okay, next match, we got Moose and Rhino. Kind of a thrown-together feud. I don't really feel a lot of heat. Even though they've kind of been brawling, it just doesn't really feel like it's organically made, if you know what I mean. But they're still two really great wrestlers. You're going to love the match regardless.
I think this match could go on second even. You said, is that the order of the matches, or that you're reading from? Or?
No, I'm actually just going off the top of my head and maybe just kind of predicting possibly how they'll go.
Probably could go on second even, because it's not as storyline-wise. It
right.
is and it isn't, right? So they got the spear versus the spear. So, I mean, I think Moose goes over in this match. I'm a Rhino fan. I'd like to see Rhino win, but I don't think he's going to.
Yeah, I think Moose wins. I think Moose is going to continue this streak of just kind of, he's going over a lot of legends.
Dare I say the Black Goldberg?
He's kind of, if you really that's kind of how, isn't that kind of how Ring of Honor treated him? He was undefeated for a long time.
When I was watching Ring of Honor more extensively back then, I don't as much now, but when I was watching it more then, I remember, I don't think he lost a match.
He didn't lose much, if he did.
He might have lost one or two.
Yeah.
Maybe important matches, but any other match he was in, he didn't lose. So,
right.
And he's doing really, really well with Impact right now. So I think he's going to beat Rhino.
Yeah, I do too. I think Moose wins this. He's just kind of doing the legend killer type gimmick, not like Randy Orton did, but so he fought RVD, then he fought Ken Shamrock. Now he's fighting Rhino. I think Moose continues this.
Yeah, and then he's probably going to go on WrestleMania time, and he'll be like, I'm the new Randy Orton. I'm sure he'll say that at some point.
He could. You never know, because it's similar. That's kind of how I'm viewing it.
Impact might risk getting sued on that one.
But yeah, no, I think Moose goes over this. I think he wins. Let's go tag team titles. We got the North versus Rich Swann and Willie Mack. There's some storyline here. They've kind of teased a little dissension between Swan and Mac. Not a lot, but what's your prediction on this?
I think the North win because of the tease storyline that Swan and Mac are going to be split up as a team. And I think that's the way it's going anyways. Like, I've been watching it every week, so each week they come in and Ethan Page is like, well, Willie Mac, well, you're just a weak link on the team, right? So, because of the knee injury and whatnot.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking maybe they'd put the titles on Willie Mack and Rich Swann because they've been doing so good. It could go either way, right? They could be setting us up to think, oh, there's not a great team because there's dissension, but then they could also go the other way and say, oh, you were supposed to think that they'd have problems, but then they could pull out this victory and are now the new tag team champions. But I think the more I think about it, I'm going to go with the North.
Yeah, the North seems like the most logical team because of the streak that they're on. I would love to see Rich Swann and Willie Mack win the titles. They remind me of a better version of the New Day.
Yes.
That third member. They're just a better version, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they're going to win the match. I think that they're going to lose. There's going to be some dissension in the match where Swann and Willie Mack, you know, they kind of mishap or something kind of happens in the ring. And the North take advantage of it. They keep the titles. And we see another tag team title defense from the North somewhere down the road.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go the North as well on that one. So I think it'll be a really good match, though, whatever happens. Yeah, let's go Brian Cage versus Rob Van Dam.
I'm going to say Brian Cage. I want to say Rob Van Dam because of the, the storyline and everything that's been going on for him with the heel turn and whatnot. But I'm going to say Brian Cage.
And this is where I'm going to disagree with you. I think Rob Van Dam gets the win only because he's got this new character. He's kind of, trying to develop. Brian Cage is kind of You know what I mean? There's not a lot going on with Brian Cage.
That's why I say Brian Cage. Because of the he needs a win, right? So. Yeah,
I agree. I think this one though they're going to give somehow Katie Forbes gets involved, and I think RVD somehow steals it.
Yeah, I could see that happening too.
Just, but it's going to be tough to beat Brian Cage if you're Rob Van Dam.
I'm going to be a fan watching the match either way. I've already won.
Right, exactly.
The match is thinking, I would like to see Rob Van Dam win with the heelish ways if possible because he's turned that round.
Right.
But at the same time, I think Brian Cage needs to win more.
He does. Well, I mean, he's kind of got to recover from his world title loss. So, but I'm going to stick with my pick with RVD. But, like you said, it could go either way.
Yeah, it really could.
So we got Michael Elgin versus Eddie Edwards for the Call Your Shot. Who do you got winning this match?
Michael Elgin because he won on Impact, right?
He did win on Impact.
Yeah. So if he won on Impact, he's got the momentum. And I think Michael Elgin wins and goes for the world title, becomes the next challenger. See,
and I'm going to go with Eddie Edwards. I think Eddie Edwards keeps it. I think...
As a fan, I hope you're right. Because as a fan, I'm cheering for Eddie Edwards. But as looking at the match and the storylines, I think it's going to be Michael Elgin.
Well, Elgin's beaten Edwards all throughout this year. I mean, they wrestled on a few one-night onlys, and they just wrestled on Impact. I think Eddie Edwards wins this just because Elgin did win on Impact. I think Eddie will win at the pay-per-view and keep that Call Your Shot because obviously if he's got that, he's got a title shot coming in the future. So I think Eddie Edwards wins this one.
Well, I like that we have a difference of opinion. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we're not just agreeing on the same result, which is always good.
I find it kind of robotic when you just agree on the whole podcast for like an hour or whatever it is. Oh yeah, I'm going to agree with you on everything. No, I'm not going to agree with you on everything. Some things we might agree on, but not everything.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, I don't know if there's any, besides the main event, which we'll get to, but I don't think I missed any matches, right?
No, on the card.
Yeah, I didn't see any other ones that they've announced yet. I don't think they've announced like an X division or anything like that. I'm sure there's going to be another match that they'll add probably the weekend of. But as of right now, I think these are the ones they announced. So let's go to the main event. I mean, this feud's been building up for a long time. There's a lot of heat. It's controversial in some ways. Some wrestling fans don't exactly like intergender wrestling. What's your take on that, and who do you got winning?
I don't mind intergender wrestling because what Sami Callihan said in his promo, it shouldn't be known as intergender wrestling. I kind of like that. Like, it should just be known as the two people going at it in the ring, you know, and whoever wins, wins. I think Sami Callihan keeps the belt. That's my prediction. I want Tessa Blanchard to win, but I don't think she will.
I think it's like kind of been building up for everyone to think that Tessa's going to win. But okay, so Sammy won it at Slammiversary. He won at, I think it was Starstruck, or it was the weekend of, it was somewhere in California he beat her. So Sammy's 2-0. They've been really building it up like Tessa's going to do it. Do you have a problem if Tessa wins the title? Do you think it cheapens the title?
A lot of people are going to think that, but I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I think it elevates the title more, and it makes it even higher, a higher prestige, because now women can go for the world title, not just men.
Right, exactly. I mean, I'm not 100% sold on it, but every match that I've seen Tessa with go in there with the men, she makes it look believable. You know what I mean?
She reminds me of a modern day like China.
Yeah. I mean, China, and Tessa's so fast. She's super athletic. I mean, she wrestles totally different when she's with the men. She uses the quick speed game, and a lot of the matches you look at her, she's getting her ass kicked, right? She's not, she's just doing real fast strikes. You know what I mean? So I think
she's also more leaner than a lot of the men are.
Right, exactly.
So when she gets into the ring, she's naturally probably going to be faster. But if you look at her other matches with the knockouts, the slimmer knockouts than her, she's going to be more of the power game. It's just all on who she wrestles, really.
I don't think Tessa can lose this match. I really don't, because all that hype.
I hope you're right, but I think Sami Callihan keeps the belt.
I mean, where does she? I mean, obviously she could push Sammy to her limits and his limits, but I just see that. I see Tessa winning because of all that background, and if Sammy keeps it, that's amazing. But I think
he's going to keep it because of, maybe they're worried, okay, well, she's female, and I really don't want to think like that, because I don't think like that. But that's how I'm thinking that this is going to turn out. That Sammy keeps the title belt because of that reasoning. Well, she brings the fight to him.
Well, the fact that she's going for the title and main eventing, I think, that could be something just in itself.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, I get. I think the other.
Talk about the women's revolution.
And I think
the women's revolution is right here in Impact, because holy shit, you got Tessa Blanchard wrestling Sami Callihan for the Impact World Heavyweight title. Holy shit, that's a holy shit in itself.
Oh yeah, no question.
Even though it's happened once before, we already know what kind of match they can do, but with the world title on the line, it makes it more, prestigious.
Mm-hmm. So you have everybody. So you have only one title change. You got ODB winning the Knockouts title.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to go, my official prediction, I'm going to go Tessa Blanchard, just because I think I don't know where they could go if she doesn't win, then she's got to go back to the knockouts, right? I mean, she would have to go back down to the knockouts division, I think, because all that build up for her wrestling against the men, I just don't see. I just think they've done too much for her to lose.
Well, I hope you're right, because if Tessa Blanchard wins, it means the storyline continues.
That's true, because then he's got to keep going. But
he's got a rematch clause, probably.
But or they could be planning, if Eddie Edwards wins Call Your Shot, then they could be going back to the Eddie Edwards versus Sami Callihan feud for the title.
Is Call Your Shot like the Money in the Bank contract, where you can just run down to the ring anytime?
You know, that's a good question. I don't think it's going to work that way. I think it's going to be you have to pick a date.
Okay.
That's how I'm going to say. That's how I'm going to think. I don't think they want to go that route. I think they kind of want to distance.
Yeah, they want to make it look more organic and more of their own style.
Right, exactly. So, and I'm thinking long term, if they're bringing Lockdown back, they're going to have to do Lethal Lockdown. So that makes me think they're going to have to do some type of 5-on-5, right? So,
yeah.
Or a 4-on-4 feud. They're going to have to do some type of feud like that. So, I think it's going to be very interesting. I'm glad we're split on a lot of these.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's what makes us wrestling fans, man.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, Impact. What a year. I think 2020 is going to be really good, and I think they got a lot of surprises, and I think they got a lot of really cool events coming up. So, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think what you told me, I did not know about the lockdown event that you're saying is going to happen. So that's really something to look forward to.
I will send you the post that Impact made, and then you can you can kind of tell me like what you think, if you think it's going to be lockdown. I think it's going to be lockdown, but yeah.
Well,
so
I hope it's lockdown, because that was a hell of a pay-per-view idea to have every match in a cage.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I can't wait. Well, we're gonna obviously, I'm hoping to keep this going weekly, and I'm glad I found another Impact guy, because the HeelCast guys, they just do not, they hate. Well, I don't want to say all of them, but a few of them, they do not like the intergender wrestling. So they basically just, they don't like it, and they will not watch because they think Tessa's going to win. So that's their beef. But
really, we don't know who's going to win until the day of.
Exactly. I think it's too early to prejudge anything like that. So, but we will see. But yeah, we're definitely going to do a Hard to Kill recap show, and then talk about it. So, I also want to talk to the other viewers. I was doing the My Impact series. My Impact will be coming with a new episode. It's going to be probably towards the end of January, early February, but I'm really looking forward to it. And I will be announcing the guest in a couple weeks. So, all right, Killer Kyle, it was fun doing this, and I can't wait to do a show after Hard to Kill.
Sounds good to me.
All right, for Killer Kyle, for Hurls, this is the HeelCast, the Impact section. We will see you next time after Hard to Kill.